Dear students, today we are going to discuss the chapter with a Bushman in the Kalahari. So let's get started. If you are going to shoot elephants, be aware. The nauseating smell, that's the sickening smell, is something you'll never forget. Such were the reports from friends. Reports means the feedback from friends who had returned from the Kalahari. We still loaded our vans with our shooting kits and set out for the desert. It was a restless drive. We knew not what was in store for us. Fortunately, that means luckily, we hit the desert while it was still day. Hit the desert means reached the desert while it was still day. Good, we agreed that would leave us time to set up a base for our shoot. However, we had spoken too soon. That means we had decided this too soon. Round a curve, our van encountered unexpected slush. The engine strained to pull the wheels through. I stepped down from the van. As I was looking for stones to place against the wheels, I saw a pair of bright black eyes peering from among the bushes. A bushman, probably drawn to the spot by the roar of the engine. Tales of Bushmen of the Kalahari came flashing to my mind. I remembered reading that Bushmen are safer to deal with during the day. They are extra alert during the night and more aggressive. Aggressive means violent. Also, I had come well prepared to befriend the Bushman. Befriend means to become friends. I had some beads which I quickly offered to them as a token of friendship. The bushman accepted the gifts and flashed a set of white teeth that anybody would envy. Envy means feel jealous. Coming forth, he offered to give us a hand with the van. Give us a hand is an idiom which means to help. On learning that we were out on an elephant shoot, he promised, as well as we could understand, to conduct us to the gate. It was beginning to get dark. A fire stick in his hand, our guide took the lead, walking in front of our van. His dangling, shiny, corded hair got all my admiration. He led us onto a well trodden elephant path. Well trodden means much used or visited, for about an hour. The bushman being only friend in this wilderness. We could only follow in silence. Seeing our puzzled expressions, every now and then he muttered something in his click language. Muttered means spoke to speak something softly. In his click language means in his native language. However, we had abandoned all hopes of understanding him. Abandoned means left. We guessed from his gestures that he would bring us to some place. It was twilight when we reached our lookout point. Among the trees was a large platform. He pointed up to it. So that was where we were to spend the night. We climbed up the rope ladder. A moment later, our bushman disappeared. We found that rather strange. We settled down and were just about to hit the sack. Hit the sack again is an idiom here which means go to bed. When we heard a faint splashing and gurgling like that of a child's laughter, I stood up and looked in the direction of the sound. Stretched at a distance was a silvery band. Sure enough, we were very close to a river, the elephant's watering hole. We set up our photography gear in a double quick time. We were still at it when a loud trumpet almost rattled us off our perch. Perch means the seat where they were sitting. An elephant herd was visiting the river at night. We had not expected things to happen so fast. Our hands were trembling from sheer excitement. The elephants came trudging along, means walking slowly with heavy steps. The calves walking beside their mothers. They were 17 in all. big and small. Our cameras worked non-stop while we followed them through our lenses. This was my first wildlife shoot, and nothing could compare with the excitement I felt in this wild natural paradise. We shot for an amazing hour, during which the herd demonstrated to us spectacles like shooting water from their trunks. Some even made high pitched trumpet calls that made us jump out of our skin. Again, this is another idiom which means frightened, okay, or surprised us. Their thirst quenched means satisfied. The herd retreated to the bush. Our bushman startled us when he suddenly sprang to the ground below us. We realized we realized he had been a silent observer from the bow of a tall tree next to us. He looked puzzled. We had not fired a shot. How could we let the game go by? We showed him our photography gear, but he was still puzzled. We asked him to climb up and showed him what we had shot on our camera screens. I could sense that he was pleased that he did not have to witness the destruction of those majestic beasts. So that's all for this chapter. Now we all know that why it is better to shoot wildlife with a camera instead of a gun. Okay, a photograph lets everyone view the experience that one person saw, but a gun destroys a life and erases the beauty that was once there. Now, shooting an animal with a gun is selfish, whereas if you shoot or if you take a photograph, it can last forever. But the killing of an animal ends a life in a split of a second. That's all for this chapter. Thank you.